On to number 3 on our list is the first time where we have a discrepancy early on. Who did you put as your number 3 quarterback?
I have Lamar Jackson. Okay. He's fresh off his second MVP. Lamar is now a lock top 5 quarterback. I have him right at number 3 in the league. I don't believe you can keep him out of the top 5 anymore. For so many years, the biggest thing against him was he is a fantastic runner, but where is the passing? Where's the success in the postseason? I've advocated for this Lamar to be a top 5, top 3 quarterback since the beginning of last season. Okay. He is the best rushing quarterback ever. He's one of the greatest runners, period, of the football in the history of the game. And he's shown, especially last season, he has a lot more efficiency throwing the ball. Okay. He had a 67% pass completion percentage last year, a 102 rating with an average yard per attempt about 8 yards. So it's not like he's just checking the ball down. And I expect more of the same out of Lamar. The only thing keeping him lower than Allen or Mahomes is he kind of has a drop off come postseason compared to his regular season because his regular season's so good. We haven't really seen him in the biggest moments facing off against the biggest of opponents, aka Patrick Mahomes, uh, perform to the heights that we're used to. Whereas Allen, I think, is the only Allen and maybe Burrow are the only other guys that we've seen head to head against Mahomes and say, okay, they're on equal playing field right now. But I think Lamar, love him at that spot. I don't. You have who do you have?
So at my number 3 spot, I have Joe Burrow. And the reason I put Joe Burrow up here at 3, um, first of all, he's back and he's healthy. Missed a lot of last season with that thumb injury. Really only played the first couple games where the Bengals did really struggle. Um, I like their addition of the workhorse running back, Zach Moss. I think it's a lot different style than Joe Mixon, and I think it will benefit the team as a whole just because he's more of a in between the tackles, get some short yardage here, kind of running back. And another big factor for this team is I think T. Higgins should be more healthy this season. Joe Burrow coming in with another T. Higgins. He missed a ton of games last year. I know he still has his contract issues, but it's going to be a big year for T. Higgins to want to get paid. Joe Burrow still has Jamar Chase, who's a top wide receiver in the NFL. But talking about Burrow specifically himself, kind of like we talked about with Patrick Mahomes, he just kind of leads his team to wins at the end of the game. And he'll lead his team to close wins. And he's that guy. He's shown he has that edge. He's shown it in the playoffs before. And, that's why I put him number 3, just because I believe he himself will orchestrate a lot of game-winning drives for the Bengals this year, and winning those close games just really helps put a quarterback over the top, in my opinion.
We have
Yeah,
those flip flopped. You have
we do.
Burrow 3. I have Lamar 3, and you have Lamar 5, and I have Burrow 5. My biggest reason why I've got Lamar ahead of Burrow is his ability to run. Okay, is substantially better than any other quarterback. So, but Burrow, while he's been able to take a poverty franchise and turn them into a perennial playoff threats. I mean, the Bengals have never been good. Okay, and now they're constantly in the discussion for Super Bowl contention. Are they one of the top dogs of the AFC? And that's thanks to Joe Burrow. Okay, really nothing else. He's turned the Cleveland Cavaliers, much like LeBron, into a legit threat here. But every season, he has suffered an injury causing him to miss time. Whether it's his knee during his rookie campaign or last year, he did not look right with a calf strain, and he ended up missing a substantial part of last year. It's not so much his talent or his ability, rather than his availability, that has him lower for me than what maybe most people have him at. And we see this year he's not participating in in early offseason camps and so on and so forth. So I just don't know if he's going to be ready to go this year, especially for 2024 right out the gate. And he might miss time. So that's why I have him lower.
Yeah, and the reason I put Lamar lower is something you had actually mentioned when you were talking about him is just he's not as good in the playoffs. And I think that really matters as a quarterback cuz Lamar has a lot to prove this year, just that he can win or at least play well in the playoffs, right? Like we know he's going to be consistent and electric at the same time in the regular season. Probably have more touchdown passes this year just because Mark Andrews is going to be back, right? He had an MVP year. But I just want to see him play better in the big time games. And I see Joe Burrow is a playoff riser where Jackson has yet to show that he is that.
I'm just a little nervous for this 2024 season specifically, whether or not Burrow's going to be ready to go for the first 3 or 4 weeks, right? So it's mostly a health concern with Joe Burrow. And I think if you're going to compare them head to head, peak to peak, it's a coin flip, really. You can go with either one of these guys. Burrow has had more playoff success, and Lamar Jackson leads the team to a better record. Now, you could debate, it's a team sport. So, but I really do think it's a coin flip. But for this year, I just can't get over the fact that Burrow every single season misses time and is injured. And you got to dock him at least a little bit for that, in my opinion.